Go ahead, she said. That's consent. Oh, I better put Zoom. Zoom!
Zoom. Are we live?
Yeah, we've been live for a minute.
Oh, you dick.
No, I got...
Now I know how it feels.
Yeah, exactly. Welcome, everybody, to this episode of the Arete podcast. I was sitting there waiting for it to notify me that I was live, and it's like, no, stupid, it's your channel. And we are alive. No, stupid, it's your channel. You want to throw me a little bit of audio, buddy?
Yeah.
Stupid, it's your channel. You want to throw me a little bit of audio, buddy? All right, perfect. As I said, welcome to the Arete podcast. This episode is brought to you by Stevie Wicks, Cool Beans Candle Company. More on them in a bit, because I know you're just dying to know. What? 3 colors? You can't see it because the zoom's in the way. Ha! Thanks, Haley. We're being joined in the comment section by the co-host of the Part of Your Broadway World podcast, which had their tremendous debut not long ago. Actually, they kind of embarrassed us because they did. I don't remember how many views we got the first day on our podcast. It wasn't that much. It's accumulated over time, but
Well, they had a lot to learn from our mistakes. No, I'm just
that's
kidding.
that. Well, no, that's true, and that's partially, basically, what most of this podcast is about. Because like, it's all about talking about how we got started. And the benefit of joining, which we'll touch on this a bit later, we're so not trying to sell you on this, but it kind of goes part and parcel. The main point of the Arete Podcast Network is essentially so that if you want to start a podcast, we'll show you how we did it. Not saying that's the only way to do it, but you've got 4 years worth of mistakes that we made that you don't have to go through. And we just, on the Average Intelligence podcast, we just hit a milestone. We just broke the 1,000 subscriber mark,
And we're sitting at 1116.
and that happened so fast. Because what was it? Was it 2 years we were stuck in the 50s?
Oh, yeah. It was bad.
And then we started doing YouTube shorts, and all of a sudden it got to 100, then it got to 300, and then we were sitting at about 700, right? And then we had a couple of shorts that just took off. I feel like you're looking up the. I feel like you're looking up the numbers.
No, I was looking at the chat. She said 35
Yeah, but they got to 30 on their first day.
on the views.
Yep, that's solid. That's solid.
Not trying to be sexist, but women.
No, and it's a little bit more. It's a much less contentious.
It's popular.
It's also a much less contentious subject matter.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely it was very well done, and we're looking forward to the next one. I'm not going to spoil it, but she's got something really cool in the pipeline.
Heck
But anyway,
yeah.
But anyway, I hope you surpass us. Just tell people about the Arete Podcast Network. Yeah. So, God, how did we get started?
Well, basically, I had said something to you about starting a podcast, and you was like, you know what? I was thinking the same thing. And then we just kind of went from there and then just decided how we were going to do it. And I Jimmy rigged up a setup, and voila. It was our first podcast. What was it? What was it? The presidential debate?
Yeah, it was the first one. Yes, it was the first presidential debate.
Yeah. Trump and Biden.
Trump and
right?
Biden. Yep.
Yeah. Good
And
times.
we made our first prediction on that podcast.
Oh yeah.
Well, we made a couple, but the one that I remember was when I said they're gonna have to find a way to they're gonna mute the mics. Just watch. And sure enough, in the next debate,
Only president. Like, you know, they done that since?
well, they haven't had an election since, but
You know what? Thanks.
I don't think they hadn't done it before, to my knowledge, not during a debate.
Yeah.
Which is, I watched it. I'm like, oh my god. We made a few other predictions on that too, though. Just can't remember. It's been a while, but you can watch it if you feel so inclined. It's still on YouTube.
Absolutely, and I guarantee you there's some predictions on there that probably came true, but most of them probably didn't.
I actually wanted to, and I'm not going to do it because, God, it would take forever. But I would love to see a compilation of all the predictions we made and see all of them, even because we predicted some stuff that didn't happen.
You know,
I can't think of one, but
the picture that somebody made of you and tried to make a meme. I wish more people would do that. That's so creative, and I really like that stuff. I don't even care if it's negative. I think they're funny.
Oh, it was very negative, but here's the fun part, which is what makes it the best part is, and we have a history of doing this too. Anytime somebody's ever like nasty or makes fun of us, we just turn it into a joke and make it our own.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like there's nothing you can't say that I haven't said 6 inches away from the mirror.
Or my face.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh God, Haley wants to see the meme. I mean, you put it.
I'll grab it real quick.
I don't care.
I'm not sure how. Well, since this isn't.
Tell you what, we'll throw
the background.
We'll show them on here, but I'm gonna throw it on the Instagram. If you send it to me, I'll throw it on the Average Intelligence Podcast Instagram.
Might take me a second to find it real quick.
You're fine, but I'll give you the backstory of this. So basically, we had actually it was our first viral short was an Instagram reel. It was one where I was jokingly saying that that Trump should be the vice president instead of the president.
Oh my gosh! And the amount of people that were just like, no, it's like it's a joke.
It's half a joke, like.
It was serious, but half a joke.
I never, ever, don't get me wrong, I don't think Donald Trump would never do it. That's the thing. So it's not like it's going to happen. I laugh at how many people tag Donald Trump and Donald Trump Jr. in it. I find that quite funny. But anyway, there was one gentleman that commented on it and then private messaged me and proceeded to argue with me, call me a moron, call me gay, call me transgender, basically just do everything he can, and it's like calling me stupid, and then sending me articles and like YouTube videos of people who are just saying stuff without any backing whatsoever. And at first I'm kind of like, I'm engaging with the guy.
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of being like, well, yeah, but I mean, she's just saying this. Where's she getting this from? And I keep not even saying he's wrong. I'm just saying, like, I'm being a skeptic because I'm a natural skeptic. It's what I do. And so I keep poking holes in his stuff, thinking like, okay, well, where does this information come from? Like, you say this woman knows Ron DeSantis, but how? You know, this kind of stuff. And then I just stopped talking to him. And he keeps sending stuff, and then he keeps trying to antagonize me. But what he doesn't get is I don't care. Like, but then he sent me that picture, and I was like, oh, Eric's got to see this.
Is he the one that sent that to you?
Yeah.
The weirdo that I went back and forth with too?
Yeah.
I ended up having to block him because
I blocked him.
Off his rocker. Like, he kept saying things, and I was like, what are you even talking about?
Yeah, no, it's like you can't just word vomit and then get mad when people, debate back.
Yeah. Dude, this must have happened a long time ago. You sent it to me on Instagram, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Okay. I'm trying to find it. There's Jesus, how many things I send to everybody. You
do send a lot of reels, but
they are funny though.
I do. They tend to accumulate throughout the day, but I always go back, and most of them make me laugh legitimately.
It would be nice if Instagram would like be a little similar to TikTok when people send you a bunch of videos in your Instagram DM, because you have to back out of the video and go back to the DM and click the next video. It's like you can't just scroll up through it.
Right. I messed that up actually the first couple of times you started sending me reels, and I backed down. I'm like, wait a minute, that's not what I just watched.
Right.
But while you're searching for that, I'll continue the story. And actually, I don't know if I told you this. For those who don't know, Eric and I have known each other since the 5th grade. So we've been hanging out.
Technically the fourth, but we were enemies for no reason.
No, you came into the 5th grade.
No, fourth.
Really? I don't recall that.
Eric Sweet is a beat.
I thought that was 5th grade.
No, that's fourth.
And don't worry, I've gotten a lot clever. I've gotten a lot more clever over the years.
It was the summer after 4th grade.
That's right.
In which we became friends.
That's right. And God, it sounds so stupid now, but what made us become friends, Eric?
We lived in the same area.
We both found out. Well, my dad technically lived there, but it was very close. It's like we found out that my dad lived in the same area that he lived in. It was like, oh, it was very much a Step Brothers moment.
You can go ahead and say it. It was a trailer park.
I didn't want to,
Brian.
Brian.
Are we trash?
Well, no, it was a very, very much a Step Brothers moment. It's like, did we just become best friends? Yep.
Pretty much. That's how it went.
Pretty much in Central. And then, like people do, some kind of drift apart, like in high school. We both got girlfriends. And you know what happens when you get your first serious girlfriend? You disappear. You join witness protection. It happens.
Yeah, because you become all about that person, and then
yeah,
it's a weird time. You don't realize it, but like you don't realize how much time you actually have to spend with other people, and you should even your time out between people. Like you can't spend all your waking time with one person. You'll actually start to hate that person.
Right. Unfortunately, we don't find this out until our 30s most of the time.
Pretty much, and that's why a lot of high school sweethearts end up, calling it quits.
Yeah, it's like, well, you think about it, and you think to yourself, you're like, well, we see each other every day, but you only see each other for a couple hours at most. But I digress. Anyway, we reconnected, and the genesis of it was every time you would have a get-together at your house, it's like, I don't drink, so we would just sit there and have multi-hour conversations about politics or whatever. Politics, Dragon Ball, whatever. And then you're just like, we should totally do a podcast. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. Yeah, and then I come in and he's got microphones and shit set up. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, because I think I had my microphone and then I had these, and you use these forever.
I use those for a long time.
But yet, like, they're still good headphones.
Those things are solid.
Yeah, they sound well. Like, I didn't pay a fortune for them. And honestly, the newer models of these headphones, not as good.
I hate them.
You bought a newer pair.
And yeah, and then I actually sent Toast the pair that I bought.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. I wasn't using them.
Did he use them for games, or is he using them for podcasts?
He's using them for his podcast.
Okay.
Yep.
Toast.
He's got to find himself a co-host. He recorded one episode, but he said he really didn't like it. Mm-hmm. And having done a few solo podcasts, I can see, like, it's very hard to do. It gives you a whole new respect for people like he's the only there's tons of people that do it, but people like Ben Shapiro who do that every single day.
It's easier to riff off of people, like, because if somebody's saying something, you can just hop in, give an opinion, or change the subject. It's awesome.
Which is why we recommend, it's not impossible to do a solo podcast, but it's very difficult. And you've got to be pretty engaging to carry something for an hour or more.
Okay. Here we go. I found it. That took way too long. Let me see if I can...
Yeah, you can't really.
Yeah. How about now? La 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 la. Ah, dang. Okay. You know what? I'm just gonna send it to you.
Yeah, send it to me and I'll put it on the Instagram. Oh, and part of your Broadway World is up to 54 views.
Nice.
Well, and that's also, keep in mind, that's without any shorts or clips. Oh, say one short. They've done one short.
Oh, nice. Well, that's a good track record so far.
Here, let's see. Maybe
I think
my
we
camera.
had like what, 1 or 2 views on our first one.
I'm gonna lower my brightness, and you should be able to see it.
Yep.
That's it. Just in case you don't believe us when we say we don't care.
Yeah, but that's really funny.
It's
And
also it's also very poor photo editing.
our 1,000 subscriber live video, just the counter, that was our thumbnail. Jake texted me as soon as I did it. He's like, "Dick."
To be fair, I laughed first. I laughed very hard. And then you did that to me before, though. It wasn't that image. It was another one. But you like caught me like mid-word. And then it was a very funny face. And you put a social post up on YouTube. It's like, when, what was it?
Yeah.
When Average Intelligence Podcast uploads a new video. And I'm going like.
Yeah, like your face, you're like.
Something like that.
What is it? The alpha male face? You know, the one that Patrick Bateman does?
Oh, yeah, that one. Jeez.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
Something like that. I'm going to cut you up and eat you.
Blue steel.
Blue steel. Notice
I didn't turn left.
Oh, hold on.
Because that's Magnum.
I'm Batman.
Oh, speaking of which, we should let people know, tomorrow night on the Average Intelligence Podcast, we're going to be reviewing The Flash. And by review, I mean tear it a new one.
It's going to be a doozy.
Well, as usual, you liked it a little bit more than I did, but my expectations were probably higher.
I also went into it a little inebriated, so.
Well, I've been spoiled because, like I said, and I've said repeatedly, I'll say again, the DC animated movies are phenomenal. And they've done the Flashpoint story, which I'm actually rewatching tonight so that I have it fresh in my mind.
You know what's hilarious? I literally was already thinking before we started this, I was going to watch the Flashpoint movie.
Yeah, you should.
Just to give a good comparison.
You will hate the Flash movie we watched after you watched Flashpoint.
I don't know. I enjoyed it. Like it was slow in the beginning, but like it picked up, you know, and the CGI was okay. All right.
The CGI was horrendous.
No, I know, but I'm just going to say I got to save this energy for the podcast tomorrow.
That's true. Yeah, we won't get too far into that because I was actually about to tell a joke, and I'm glad I didn't because I'm saving it for our podcast tomorrow. I'll tell you after because you'll laugh, but
okay.
I realized why there were two Flashes. I'll put it that way. So going forward, we kind of just carried it on, and the Average Intelligence Podcast just is very topical, but we essentially just talk about whatever we want. It's usually topical, but for example, what led to the second podcast, Down the Middle, was I don't even remember what we were talking about that day, but we ended up getting Benji on the phone. And he and I just talked about wrestling for like 20, 25 minutes.
On the podcast?
Yeah. I think it was the random thoughts, because we didn't have any ideas, so we're just like, whatever.
So we called Benji.
Yeah. And we talked.
That's right, because he was messaging on YouTube, and we was like, you know what? We're going to call you.
Yeah. Because I brought up something wrestling related, and then he said something. Well, then I realized I was like, oh, crap, there's something here. So we had Benji on again for a full wrestling podcast, and then I really knew there was something there. So then we started Down the Middle, which even after Benji unfortunately passed away, his cousin, Brian's his cousin, right?
Yep.
Yep. Brian stepped up and joined the podcast, which is still going strong. Oh, by the way, hold on.
By the way,
I'm gonna show something kind of nerdy.
He's gonna show something kind of nerdy. It's definitely his room. Just kidding. That's not nerdy. That's awesome.
It's still in the shrink wrap, so you can kind of see it.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's not nerdy. That's got Benji on it. That's a tribute.
Yeah, I was adamant about keeping him in because if it weren't for him, it wouldn't exist.
Why does Brian looking like Brian or looking
Peter
like Peter
Griffin? You know what? Funny story. You notice the color of his shirt in this? It was white.
You had to change it, didn't you?
Well, he requested it, but it's funny because this was designed by. Okay, so another thing about the Arete Podcast Network is we can help you with every step of the way, including your logo design. And this was commissioned by so this has a long story to it. A buddy of mine who did graphics professionally designed the first logo, which is essentially the same. It just didn't have Benji in the middle. he kind of sort of retired from doing freelance work. So I had to get another graphic designer that I know to tweak it. But we have access to her. I say in one of the tutorial videos because if you join up in the network and start your podcast, you get access to basically a course that I'll be honest, we're currently making it. But most of the tutorials are up. But one of the things I bring up is you have options for your logos. And one of them is a graphic artist that we have access to. The drawback to her is she's expensive. But I wanted that done right. And when you're dealing with an existing logo, I tried. I'm just not that much of a trained graphics person. I couldn't quite get it the way I wanted it. And then you see the Arete logo. That was the original graphic artist too, as was the Average Intelligence logo, which you see in the thumbnail of this video.
Well, also,
there he is. That real estate selling ape.
This real estate, he's Bi. That's his name. His name is Bi.
BAI.
Low Average Intelligence. BAI.
You want to know what's hilarious? We made that joke about his credit score.
Oh yeah.
Guess what I found out my credit score is? What did you say it was? Didn't you say it was like 720 or something?
Yours?
No, his.
Oh, his. I said he's got a score of 740 or something like that.
Mine's 733.
Well,
I found that out the other day. I was like, whoa. That's not bad for somebody.
You don't want to know mine right now.
Yeah, but I understand why yours would be where it is. But like, that's not bad coming from somebody who for a long time his score was like 580. So
hey, I actually did get up to 816 at the highest. I was like stupid proud of myself. Well, I wouldn't say stupid, but.
And then Joe Biden happened.
Hey, it is what it is. I've learned to accept it.
Yeah, but that's funny because normally you'll hear me say a lot if you're a fan of the Average Intelligence podcast. You'll hear me say all the time that usually federal politics don't affect your life as much as people say it does. But this is one of those rare cases where, no, it was literally Joe Biden. Joe Biden killed your business.
Yeah, pretty much.
Why don't you tell the folks at home what you were doing? Because they're probably like, he did not.
So basically, I was a crypto miner, and I know everybody's gonna be like, "You're using so much electricity." Yeah, so everybody was. But anyway, so I had quite a bit of a setup, which Jake had seen, and it was doing really well for almost a year.
Almost a year to the day, actually.
And then he started when Joe Biden started talking about regulations on crypto and whatnot, he scared a lot of investors. And then the crash happened as well. Yeah, and then basically it just kept going and going. And I sold a lot of equipment off because, bills got to be paid.
Yeah, but I said for a long time you were doing that so smart because you even said, like, if the market crashes, I can sell the equipment.
Yeah, and I did sell a house and move to a house, which helped fund some of, most of my venture. And then it went kaput because of the economy. We'll just leave it at that. Yeah.
Correct. So yeah, that's one of the few times where I will actually blame politicians directly for the ills. And then let's see what else. So we started doing Down the Middle. And then for a long time we were trying to build into other podcasts, but my problem is I have limited time. But then that would have been around the time shortly after Brian started doing the podcast with me. That's when I'll be fully transparent. I joined Andrew Tate's Hustlers University. And while I was in there, I learned all about YouTube Shorts and TikToks and Instagram Reels and stuff like that. And wow, you want to talk about flipping a switch. Like that is, we even say in the tutorial video, I make a point. I'm like, if you're going to do anything that we recommend you do, you've got to do YouTube Shorts.
It truly was night and day difference.
Well, like case in point, we were stuck at 50 for like 2 years. And in less than a year, we're now over 1,000.
On our way to 1,200.
Yep. Tonight, baby. That was so much fun. We're texting each other multiple times a day. It's like, we're almost there.
Yeah, we pretty excited.
Well, we
You
didn't
know,
get to enjoy 1,000 because it was only a few minutes later we were up to 1,006.
like a lot of people hate on small YouTubers. They're like, oh, they only have 1,000 subscribers. But I'm like, you know what? Two people that know probably maybe 20 to 60 of these people that are subscribed to them. Out of that, you've got like almost 900 people that they don't even know who watch and subscribe and like and all that fun stuff. So it's like, it's actually like really pretty cool because I mean, I don't even know 1,000 people.
Well, not only that, we didn't have any name value going in.
Exactly.
So
We started this fresh.
yeah, so people are engaging with our content not because of who we are, it's because they like the content. And it's worth noting the other podcasts on the network, the one that has started and the one that will be starting soon, these are people that saw our content and then engaged, or we engaged somehow, some way. Because like Toast just started with a random comment.
Yeah, it was a random smartass comment, and the funny thing is, we were smartasses back, and then we liked his energy because he, came with it. I was like, is this guy being sarcastic, or is he just being an asshole? And then I realized he was Canadian. I was like, oh, it makes sense now.
For the record, Toast is always being sarcastic.
Most of the time, I am too.
And we like that. We like that. But gosh, Toast has been on. He's been on Average Intelligence. He's been on this podcast. Actually, he's the second episode of the Arete podcast, which that one was a blast. That was a very fun. Toast is very fun to talk to, but he's also very quick. So you gotta. I wouldn't say it's a fun conversation, but I wouldn't say it's not an easy conversation, but it's very fun.
Yeah.
Because we go all over. But again, he's got a very similar sense of humor to us, so it's like 90% of it is being a smartass. And then occasionally we'll drop some grains of truth or seriousness in there, but most of the time we're just having a good time. So then I knew that I needed some shorts content on my channel, which if you're watching, if you haven't already, you should go ahead and subscribe. Because, every little bit helps. I can't make that like really loud. I can't do it.
Okay, I can't do it right now either.
So somebody started watching the podcast right there.
Yeah, they're like, okay, these guys, no.
No, unsubscribe.
Brian, we trash. Yeah, kinda.
Yeah, so we had Toast on, and he's going to be launching his podcast hopefully very soon. Toast, if you're watching, let's get a move on, brother. We want some Breakfast Club.
Well, I was gonna say, even if you don't even have a co-host, you can get started, and one of us can, or even all three of us could be your first go.
Yeah, I see why he wants to have a co-host though, because he's wanting to do it consistently.
Yeah.
So I get it. Because I'll be honest, being completely selfish, I just want to watch the show.
Well, I tell you what, make a short. It's for you, Jake. Make a short with something from Toast, and then splice into it with you recording, saying, "Hey, this guy, his name's Toast. He's looking for a podcast co-host, and this is the interests and likes. And if he can't find someone within his own network of friends or whatever, maybe he could find someone on the internet, and then he could interview him."
I'll talk to him.
I feel like he should record that interview because that would actually be entertaining.
Yeah, just record
Especially
the auditions.
him.
Record the auditions.
Yeah, that'd
be great,
dude.
I can.
That's genius.
I'm not going to spoil the concept of his show, but I will tell you it's something that I really think it would be better if he had an in-person co-host because of the nature of it and what they're going to do. Because I don't want to spoil it because it's going to be.
He doesn't know some random stranger on the internet what they're gonna be sensitive to or.
Yeah, that's a good point because also we already knew each other. We didn't have to have that feeling out process.
But he could do fake interviews.
That would be funny.
No, just skit interviews. That would be really funny. You know what? We could assist with that, and would actually
we can absolutely assist with that. So I feel like this is just a big sales pitch, which it kind of is, but not really. It's
Help him out with the short, dude, and then just give it to him and have him upload it, and then he could just get going from there. Be like, yeah, check me out on this day and this day and this time.
Yeah, it's a soft sell, but that's another thing you get if you're in the Arete Podcast Network, is you get access to all the other creators who can help you with this kind of stuff.
Oh, and man, our brains are booming with ideas and creativity. We just don't have 100% of the time to get those ideas done.
We just have chimp brains.
Exactly. We're average intelligence. We need you above average intelligence people to assist.
Which that actually is a nice little segue.
Make us rich. No, I'm just kidding.
No, but I do love every time, and like it's so everybody thinks they're being so clever when they like insult us like that. It's like I'm pretty sure we made that joke first.
Oh, the below average intelligence?
Yeah.
And every time I see that, I'm just like,
you don't get the joke.
No creativity? No creativity at all, huh?
Well, not only that, you're too lazy to read the rest of the comments, and you don't get the joke.
Idiots.
Freaking idiots.
But I don't know.
We've repeatedly said it's like, we know. That's why.
What is that from? We know.
I don't know. I'm just like, that's literally my reaction every time. We're like, duh. Do you see a PhD on this wall?
Yeah, right. I mean, my doctorate is a chimp.
I don't believe he went to medical school.
No, but he sold me my house.
Dude, by the way, I got excited. So one thing I did do is anytime I see somebody engage with our content, particularly if I see PhD or doctor in their name, I will at least scope them out and see. And I got real excited today because a doctor so-and-so liked one of our reels. And I went to his page. He's a fucking chiropractor.
Dude, the joke I made, that's perfect.
I know, but I was like, damn it.
He's a chiropractor.
I wanted a real doctor.
They are real doctors.
Are they, though?
Yeah. You're like that one guy. Really?
You sure about that?
That guy, man, like those videos that he makes, ugh, like they're funny, but like you just want to.
I don't know. I usually agree with him.
No, I agree with him. It's just the faces he makes. Those are the faces I used to make, so I know people wanted to punch me.
They couldn't reach you all the way up there, though.
Get down here and fight me like a man. I know,
there's a DBZ abridged line in the Broly movie where Broly's just antagonizing Vegeta. He was like, "What? I can't hear you from down there." And he goes, "Speak up, boy! I can't hear you from up there." Oh, it's so good. So yeah, then we started the Arete podcast, and then I believe I reached out to Haley on TikTok because she was liking a lot of our Titanic content. I'm trying to remember that. Haley, if you're still on the stream, remind me, did I message you or did you message me? I cannot remember. I think I messaged you.
You killed it on that Titanic content.
A lot of people argue with me on it.
Yeah. Just like the Coke. The McDonald's Coke secret.
Okay, yeah, I did message Haley. I thought so.
Okay.
But I was just like, and I got excited too because we had a guy leave a lot of comments on a short that we did that was about that 70s show. I can't remember which one it was, but this dude's like a super fanboy, and I'm literally just like, hey man, you ever thought about doing a podcast? Because, well, here's the thing though. I imagine, and now I kind of want to do it, but I don't have the time. A watch-along podcast for that 70s show. Think about how much fun that would be. Just
to laugh along and just make jokes.
You don't watch the you don't watch the show on the podcast. You watch the episode and then you talk about it. That's what a watch-along podcast is. Because I actually
watch the episode and then basically review it, or you're watching it and then reviewing it while you're watching it.
No, you watch it first and then you.
Oh, okay. So review.
Yeah. Well, but it's so.
They call it a watch along. It's a review.
Well, okay. I'll explain with an example. So, did you ever watch One Tree Hill when we were in high school?
I'm a simp for Oh, I can't not raid. I'm a simp for Titanic, though. That's how you got me.
It's a great film.
Titanic's pretty awesome, especially that one guitar part.
You make
my
fun.
Heart will go.
You make fun. Okay, I have to let the people know who may be confused. So, if you watch the music video, I think it's the album version, but I could be wrong. It either isn't or isn't. But if you go on YouTube and you watch the official music video for My Heart Will Go On, right before her vocal crescendo, when like the famous "You're Here" part. Hang on, no, it's after that. You're here, there's nothing I can. Okay, after she says, "And I know a heart will go on," there's this. What was that?
Sorry.
It's super professional over here.
It just hit me. This ring light, it's just making me sneeze. Anyway.
But anyway, so right after her big vocal crescendo, which is, "And I know that the heart will go on," there's this little, it's not even a solo. What did you call it? A step?
It just sounds like a couple notes, just bend.
A bend, that's what you called it. It's awesome, dude. Listen for it.
Oh, now to stretch and a bend.
But the whole time I'm just like, man, it's so awesome. He's like, it's a bend. It's not that big of a deal.
Oh.
But hey, man, some of those soft rock hits, man, mostly from the 90s, but they have like guitar solos that have no business being as good as they are.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like you have a lot of people like that can make a solo, but it doesn't hit quite like those solos in certain songs.
True.
Like, I don't know. You have to be a master of your craft in order to play a proper solo.
Well, I guess so. Another good example of that would be, by the way, we go all over the map. So just
Sorry, guys.
I'm not sorry. That's the whole point. This is how our conversations normally are. But you know the song "Nothing's Gonna Stop Us" by Starship.
Sort of.
Okay, that song has another really good guitar solo that has no business being as good as it is. It's awesome. Anyway,
if you want to hear a real good solo, listen to "The Drug in Me Is You" by Fallen in Reverse and Jackie Vincent. He's a guitarist, and I think it's right. I can't remember where it is, but you'll know what it is. It's just, oh gosh, it's a lot of finger picking and finger tapping and whatnot, or no finger picking, just finger tapping, and it's great. Anyway, go ahead.
I'm not going to bring up that song because nobody can hear it because only I have it. Okay, screw it. There was an indie band. I think they were actually from Ohio, but I heard them in Indy a couple times. They played some small clubs here, like back in 2006-07, called Fall of Athena. And they have a song where there's this portion. It's a really long song. There's this portion of it where every instrument gets a solo. It's awesome. So each of the guitars, the drums, and even their bassist gets a solo.
Oh, nice.
It is pretty cool. I like it. It's a pretty good song. It's funny though because like the bass gets his solo last, and compared to everybody else, it's just so soft. It's almost like a little footnote, like boom, doom, 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 and then the guitar starts shredding again.
Yeah.
It's a good song though. I'll play it for you sometime. You may have heard it actually. Because it was that one when we were going to Kings Island, and you pointed at my console.
Yeah, you played it.
Yeah. As you pointed at the console, you were like, Arete Media? I'm like, yeah, it's on there. It's private. So don't worry about it.
Oh, you put it on your YouTube. Oh, can private it? Okay.
Yeah, so that I can have it on my playlist, but
Gotcha.
It's not my song. But yeah, you can't find it anywhere because as far as I know, they're not a band anymore.
And for anyone watching, I am from the Average Intelligence Podcast. So is Jake. And you can find us other channel on YouTube, Average Intelligence Productions.
There's a link in the description.
Oh, see? Look, bam.
Down below. You can also check out the Arete Media website where you can take a look at all the podcasts on the Arete Network, get to know the hosts a little bit. on the About Us page and find a bunch of other cool stuff on there, including the blog, which you guys need to contribute to. I can't be the only one writing.
Oh yeah, okay. I need to. I've got some stuff in the tank. I just gotta, actually do it.
You can write about guitar bins.
Hold on. That's all you get.
I was gonna say, I think you're flat.
You're flat.
I wish.
Okay, so
If you start going into broken,
no.
you should.
Just kidding.
So another fun part about podcasting is you get running inside jokes. And one of ours is
Batman, the Batman with Robert Pattinson, because something was in the way of that movie.
yes, it was Robert Pattinson.
No, I enjoyed it. He didn't, but there was a lot of stupid things that happened in that movie that made zero sense.
And then
sort of.
Most of it was just unintentionally hilarious. Like, they weren't trying to make it funny, but it was so funny.
Yeah.
And then, so we got Haley on board with Part of Your Broadway World, where they talk about Broadway and Disney. Not necessarily both at the same time, but you get the idea. Their first episode was... Oh, go ahead.
No, you go.
I meant to say I was going to go ahead, and then we'll circle back. That didn't work out well. That's what happens when you work.
It's like a circle.
It's like a circle. No, that's what happens when you work in sales. Like, I'll say thank you to people all the time. It's just an automatic response when a thank you is not appropriate. Somebody will be like, "Oh, excuse me." I'll say, "Oh, thank you."
No, you're in line. They hand you your food. Have a good day, or have a good meal. Okay, you too.
that's another thing that happens. But their first episode is about the stage production Jagged Little Pill, which I will confess I don't know that much about, but
it's actually about Alanis Morissette, dude.
I don't think it's about Alanis Morissette though. Haley, what's Jagged Little Pill about? I know it's got a lot of Alanis Morissette music in it. Hopefully she'll explain. But you should just check out the episode, which you can see, or you can listen to on aretemedia.org, or look for Part of Your Broadway World podcast on YouTube, and you will find it. See, it is not. I knew it wasn't about Alanis Morissette.
It's a cool name either way.
It is, but the Jagged Little Pill is a song of hers, I do believe.
It is.
Yeah.
It's almost as cool as Average Intelligence. Just saying.
Nobody's cooler than Bye.
Biden. That was terrible.
We just have another joke. We're gonna put
Biden. Yeah,
we're gonna put a blonde wig on him in Canva. I'm not a blonde wig, a white wig. Who is under pressure?
I know. I don't have the Stream Deck plugged up or anything like that. International pressure.
It's all in good fun, though.
Get in the pit and try to love someone.
Well, another thing you can do when you're into podcasting, clunky sponsorship spots, like this one right here. As I said at the beginning, this podcast is brought to you by Stevie Wicks Cool Beans Candle Company, and you notice, Eric, what color is this candle?
Red, white, and blue.
It's all three. All three colors and scents of the Americana collection, available through July 4th. Get yours today at steviewicks.com. Use promo code Arete to get 10% off your order. But this one has top layer is cherry slushy, and then when you're through that, you get hit with the warm Americana scent of hot apple pie, and then under that is the Stevie Wicks favorite blueberry muffin. And when I tell you that the blueberry muffin scent will overpower the smell of formaldehyde, I can tell you with firsthand experience. It is that strong. Don't even need to light it.
Do you know who loves apple pie? Jason Biggs.
I was just going to say Jason Biggs.
Apple pie is delicious. I love apple pie, especially with vanilla ice cream.
Okay, so Jagged Little Pill is a rock musical of the same name of the 1992 album Jagged Little Pill.
Yeah, I thought you knew that.
Shut up, Eric.
You uncultured swine.
It's true. Actually, it is true because
No, you know a lot more.
Well, no. My sister actually called me that when I divulged that not only do I dislike Hamilton, I thought it was awful. I'm going to say it. Hamilton sucked. I don't understand what the big hubbub is about it. I don't understand why everyone's in love with Lin-Manuel Miranda.
What
I know
is
it's
Hamilton?
The Broadway musical.
Oh.
Yeah, didn't like it. Didn't care for it.
I'm not really a Broadway guy. On Broadway. And I'm not making fun of that. I'm just not a fan.
No, you never were into it.
I'm an uncultured swine.
See, oh, jeez, how dare you?
How dare you?
Okay.
Sorry.
I tried. When they put it on Disney Plus, I was like, okay, I'll give Hamilton a try. What ruined it for me was, one, I don't like white boy rapping. And that's what most of the musical is.
Oh.
I know Lin-Manuel Miranda's not white, but he sounds like a white guy when he raps. Sorry, not sorry. And rap is used very loosely. But what killed Hamilton for me was the fact that, now, preface with, I'm a history nerd, so I know what happens to Alexander Hamilton. But they give away the ending in the opening song. Because Aaron Burr closes out the song by coming to center stage and goes, and I'm the damn fool that shot him. And I'm just like, why did you do that? Why would anybody continue to watch the show? We know he's going to get shot. Like, I knew that. And you can make the argument that it's like, oh, well, we know the Titanic sinks. It's like, yes, but I would say that the Titanic is somewhat more common knowledge. Not everybody's a history nerd and would know that Alexander Hamilton gets assassinated. Well, I wouldn't say assassinated. Gets killed in a duel with Aaron Burr.
Sorry, I had to fix something.
So from a purely narrative perspective, I was like, why would you give away the ending? And plus, you're turning the world upside down with the casting of the musical. And so maybe they're changing the ending. Maybe they're doing Inglourious Bastards and Hamilton. Or actually, maybe they're doing a Hamlet 2, which is a great movie. But
the only problem she has with Lin-Manuel is the Scuttlebutt song.
Oh, that song.
Oh, and the live-action Mermaid.
Oh,
I thought about taking my daughter to go see it, but I don't know. Like, a lot of people said it was just a terrible movie to begin with. I don't know if it's bad or not. I didn't really care that they switched the person. That didn't matter to me, but I'm not going to go watch a bad movie.
If you're judging it solely on the song Scuttlebutt that she's talking about, it's terrible. And there's this thing, and I will admit, I'm in the minority here. A lot of people like Lin-Manuel Miranda. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm saying he's overrated. He does this thing, and it's particularly annoying to me, is he's so focused on forcing multiple rhymes that he will insert lyrics that don't have anything to do with the song. They're like ADD moments in the song, just so he can continue the rhyming scheme.
I know all about the ADD moments.
Well, but he does it intentionally so that he can carry the rhyme. But it comes off as like having a random thought.
Oh.
It's not my thing. I don't care for it. Although I do want to see somebody wrote a play. I think it's called The Ghost of Lin-Manuel Miranda. Scuttlebutt will make your ears bleed. It's quite a horrendously bad song. Yeah, I think it is the... I'm going to look that up real quick because I want to see this play. A Haunting of Lin... Yeah, The Haunting of Lin-Manuel Miranda. So Lin is visited by three spirits, a la A Christmas Story, or A Christmas Carol, rather. And he's made to answer for the crime that is Hamilton. So I really want to see this show. But yes, I'm excited for more part of your Broadway world because I like Disney and the stage, so it'll be very fun for me to watch and enjoy. And I still call dibs on the West Side Story episode because West Side Story is the bomb, yo.
Stay golden, pony boy.
Hey man, West Side Story's good.
Oh yeah,
It's classic, super good. Pleasantly surprised. Hey, I was pleasantly surprised by the 2021 remake Steven Spielberg did. This is very good. But let's see. So we touched on this earlier. Was about one of the things if you're going to do a podcast you have to be prepared for is a bunch of people that are hating on you for no reason other than the fact that they're miserable and they just want to just be dicks. It's going to happen.
The best way you can like interact with these people, because the thing is, most of them are just looking for a rise out of you. Just don't give it to them. Be sarcastic. It's more fun. Or, try to intelligently, converse and see if they're the ones who take it up notch, and then you sink down to their level.
Well, the good part of this is like now that some of the shorts are really taking off is I don't engage with most comments anymore because I don't see them come through.
She said, "You're like a dog going for a bone. You got dibs. Go."
I know.
Fine.
I want the West Side Story. No, West Side, and I'm not going to go into it because I want to go into it on her show. But West Side Story is very personal for me because it was the first. It wasn't the first musical I ever saw, or actually it might have been, but no. But it was the first time I really understood musical theater, so it holds a special place for me right there. Actually, I think the first musical I ever saw was Peter Pan.
That makes sense.
Why does it make sense?
I don't know. It just seemed like something funny to say. You and peanut butter and dogs. No, just kidding.
Wow. That's I mean it works, but that's a real loop of a joke right there.
That was bad.
That's a real loop right there. Well, the irony though is when you're talking about people who are just being shitty for the like. I wouldn't even say it's so much that we have thick skins. Well, actually, no, we do have thick skins because when you grew up in our friend group,
some of our friend group had thick skin. Just we'll say that.
Well, we did. You had to be quick on the draw.
Look, dude, I was short and fat for a long time. And,
okay,
and then I got tall and skinny. Dude, I was shorter than we were the same height at one point, and I'm not saying.
Oh wait, yeah, we would have been like in elementary school.
Yeah, but I was a short, fat little kid, and I got taller and skinnier, and then I got fatter as a taller person. So I'll take that any day over being short and fat.
It's okay. I'm still a short, fat little person.
You're a hobbit. You're a hobbit, Harry.
You're a hobbit, Mr. Frodo.
I arrive precisely when I mean to.
Frodo! It's another inside joke.
I almost got kicked out of the theater.
I wasn't even there
shut up during that movie. I the funny thing is, I love Lord of the Rings. Yeah, you weren't there. I thought you were, but apparently, like, we were just being so loud during the movie, and even though we appreciated the movie and loved it, we were just dumb kids.
To be fair, my mother would not have tolerated that during.
Oh no,
Lord of the no.
She's a Lord of the Rings fan, right?
Well, I'll put it to you this way: most kids, where is it? There it is. Most kids were brought up read bedtime stories of various varieties. I was read this as a child, as far back as I can remember. That's not the. It's the deluxe.
We can't see it. It's
I know.
Okay.
It's the deluxe illustrated edition of The Hobbit.
Is it okay? I was gonna say, is that The Hobbit? Dude, The Hobbit was amazing.
Oh yeah. This is artwork from the Rankin Bass production, the first animated version.
Okay.
We don't talk about the newer Peter Jackson version because it was terrible. It was an insult to Tolkien and everyone that loved it. Ooh. So to say I was raised, Yeah. Oh God, they were terrible.
What? The movies were
live action-
fantastic.
The Hobbit?
Oh, my bad. Yeah.
Oh no,
I'm
The
sorry.
Hobbit.
Sorry.
The Hobbit.
The Hobbit was garbage.
No,
Hot
yeah.
garbage.
The Lord of the Rings are classics and will always remain cinematic masterpieces.
And they had good actors for The Hobbit, but like it was something missing.
Well, for one thing, the Rankin Bass production demonstrated that you can tell the basic story in a good way in about an hour. Because I think the whole movie's like an hour and 9 minutes or something like that. Which, by the way, if you haven't seen it and you're a Tolkien fan, you definitely need to see the original. I think it's 1977, The Hobbit.
It's fantastic.
It's great, and it's a great way to introduce kids into Tolkien without them feeling like they're being like given a homework assignment.
Yeah, because for some reason kids have problems going to live action right away. They just have to have a cartoon for some reason.
Well,
I get it.
It makes sense.
Like I said, I get it.
I still prefer it over the new Hobbit movies. Like it's significantly better.
Yeah.
Where was I going with that?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Oh no, we got sidetracked. But yeah, so point being, completely lost it. Yeah, so my mother would not have tolerated that. That would have been sacrilegious. But I found it funny. But no, I wasn't there for it. But yeah, that's yet another inside joke. It's not funny to anybody else. It would only be funny to us.
That happens a lot.
Yeah. It's the definition
we're like, this is so funny, and then everybody's like, I don't get it. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I guess you kind of had to be there.
Guess you had to be there. Yeah.
Fun story about Jake. One time when we were probably 12 or 13 years old, I had a mini bike, and I drove it out to his house. And mind you, I was not little, and this thing was like, it looked like Mr. Incredible riding in his car, but on a motorbike. And I let Jake ride it, and he had never really ridden anything with a throttle, a pull throttle, like on a motorcycle. And he went across his yard, across his road, and then into a ditch. And it was the funniest thing ever.
Flew right over the top of it.
It was so great. He's like, he gets off. He's like, how do I stop? I said, the brakes. he whiskey throttled it.
I didn't know how to drive it.
Oh, that was good. It was good.
Oh, I remember now. So the main basic point is you really can't insult us, and you really can't embarrass us. So
you can try.
Yeah, you can try. Go for it. But you've had a couple of great singers for people in the comments section before.
Yeah, I can get pretty...
I usually... You see, you're ruthless. I usually give people a chance to... Like, I Goku them. I give them a chance to stop. Before
Jake
going...
is like, be water, my friend.
And then you're like, that's it, killing you both! There was one, I'm not going to go into the comment section, but I think you're aware of this one. If not, I'll inform you. But the guy was responding to a TikTok I made, and he completely took it. A, he took it the wrong way. And B, then he started going down a path, and I'm like, are you sure you want to die on this hill? Because it sounds like you're saying something else. And I don't think you are, but it sounds like you're saying something that I think you're going to regret saying. And thankfully for him, he did not respond. Because I think he realized the path he was going down. And I'm like, I don't think you want to go there, sir. Which you would have just gone for the kill.
Yeah, I pretty much thirst anyone in the comments.
Yeah, he's
Try
no mercy.
to.
He's no mercy. So if you're going to engage, hope you get me.
And most of the time we put what would you call it, name tags?
Yeah, we started doing that because it becomes a lot less confusing.
Yeah, and most of the times though, like if you're getting a sarcastic comment, it's just for me.
It's probably him. If you're getting like a paragraph long about a history lesson, it's probably me.
I have what you call a beautiful mind.
Some of those zingers, man. Although our text threads are always hilarious.
Yeah.
Or like when you made the Harry Potter reference and then you realized that you would have been making out with my sister.
Yeah. And I was like, oh.
You're like, I don't want to be Harry anymore.
It's a man, baby. Just kidding.
Oh, what's another really good one? I just had it. It'll come back to me. But yeah, so other than a thick skin, which this is a little bit of a pat on our back. So there have been times where we've uploaded a short, and the comment section, shall we say, is sometimes rightfully not kind to me because I will say something where Eric knew what I meant, but I didn't say it the way I should have said it. Could have removed it, but we don't. And we don't. I've only removed comments once, and it wasn't even because they were talking about us. They were speaking ill of the dead, and
Yeah.
I won't tolerate that.
Yeah, we're not comment removers, so like feel free to comment.
Yeah,
just
go
as
for
long
it.
as it's like nothing to do with, like defaming the dead or anything like that.
Well, the only thing I'll do is if you're talking ill about somebody else, and they can't, then they're not there to defend themselves.
Because it was one of our friends they were talking about, so that's why we were quick to just be like, nah.
Yeah, and I tried ignoring them first, and that didn't work. They kept going, so it was like, no, I just reported your ass. I hope you got thrown off YouTube.
Maybe. I don't
Well,
know.
they'll just make a new account, but it's the principle of the thing.
It's like you gotta come up with another email, dog.
Got to make another Gmail account.
Oh damn. Or even Hotmail. Is the Hotmail still around?
Yeah, it is. I still get customers now and then, and every time I see Hotmail, I'm like, old.
I don't know if you'll remember this, but do you remember my first email?
No, I do not.
Goku136 at Hotmail.
That's right.
I lost the login a long time ago, dude. And I was so mad because I was like,
Was it Hotmail or did you have a Lycos?
no, Hotmail was the first one, because the funny thing is I set up a Hotmail for my stepdad. He still uses the same one to this day.
That's
and
awesome.
It's literally been like 20 years.
Dude, I remember when so okay, this will go down a little bit of our nerd road. For people our age will remember this, but do you remember it was when DBZ was airing on Toonami, but I didn't have cable. So I was just buying like the 3 or 4 episode VHSs, but we figured out the VHS releases were way ahead of TV. So I was getting the Boo Saga when Cell Saga was still on TV. And this was...
I remember that.
Yeah.
Because I actually remember I ended up getting, it was during the Boo Saga like you were talking about. I got Best of Boys was the VHS that I had. And it was the child tournament.
Yeah,
with,
the junior
Trunks and
division.
Goten.
Yep.
Yeah, because I remember bringing it over and we watched it.
Yeah, but that was... So I started seeing Great Saiyaman stuff. It would have been around the time the Cell game started on TV. So I was already ahead. But I remember my email address for a long time was sayaman08@hotmail.com.
Saiyaman.
Because for some reason I don't know about you, but for some reason I really liked the Saiyaman arc. I think it was because it was the first time I'd really seen like a prolonged slice of life storyline in an anime. So I don't know. Yeah, I can't see.
No, Sasha's at the door.
I figured.
No. But Saiyaman, that was a really good arc because of him teaching Videl how to fly and how many times we tried
I was gonna say we
release
totally
our own energy.
We totally tried it, not gonna lie. Everybody did. And everybody's tried the Kamehameha at least once.
Yeah, it's worked before for me.
I know, that was wild.
Yeah, I almost broke my hand. No, it wasn't that. I punched my car.
Oh, so you tried the Kaioken.
Yeah, pretty much. No, that was a stupid thing. I got mad at my girlfriend, and I had a 89 Beretta for all you people
You punched
who are young.
the Beretta?
Dude, I put a dent in it. People thought I got in a crash, and I was like, no, I just punched it. And they were like, what do you mean? I was like, oh, I mean, my hands really hurt, so.
They're like, that's steel, right?
Yeah. I feel like I lost a knuckle in the battle.
You probably did.
It fits weird now. Like, I don't know.
I've done that too. You probably can't see it on here, but my right knuckle's a little bit thicker than the left. At one point I cracked it. I did a board break that did not go my way.
Yeah. You see that? Like, it's almost flat right there, that knuckle. Like, I mean, it's still there when I'm there. I feel like it got pushed back.
Probably did.
It hurts a lot, so sometimes.
Don't punch cars, kids.
Yeah, don't be a hothead. It's stupid.
It truly is amazing how mellow you get as you get older, and you just realize the stupid stuff which probably helps with the comment section, because I can imagine if we were doing this, like if we were kids now, I can imagine us getting really upset sometimes, but it's like...
Dude, if I was 17, 18 years old, I'd be like, "Ooh, you want to meet up and fight?"
Yeah, now we've had somebody do that in the comments before.
Oh, yeah.
Like, okay.
You know, the funny thing is with comments on YouTube, I always ask them, I'm like, hey, or even on Instagram or anywhere, I'm like, hey, I have a podcast. Would you like to come on and talk about this? So I don't have time for that. But I'm like, you got time to sit here and go back and forth with me all day long?
Yeah, but you can't give 30 minutes.
You can't put a face to your voice.
No, because they're cowards.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, just don't be cowardly. Like, back up what you're going to say. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's just, and that's ultimately what you have to realize about the comment section is most of the time people are just miserable with their own lives and they want to make other people miserable. So they just go on the internet to, bitch about movies and share pornography with one another.
Kind of like, well, no, I mean, I don't think she does that, but the comment sections with, what's her face?
Brett Cooper.
Female Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, Brett Cooper. And no, for the record,
looks just like him as a female.
And for the record, that line's from it's a Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back reference.
Oh yeah.
For those who don't know, but yeah, that is odd. Brett Cooper and Ben Shapiro are the same person, or at least I'd be convinced they were the same person if I haven't seen them in the same room together. There's a cat outside my window.
What is she doing?
Oh, it's on the fence right now. What are you doing? Oh, that's Princess. That's the neighbor's cat.
Come here.
Is that Ruby?
It is Rubus Maximus. Say hi, Ruby.
Ruby blends in with your background very well.
Yes, and look how big she's gotten.
I told you, man, she's a newfie. She grows like...
She's so pretty. It's ridiculous. Look at you. Oh, she's like freaking out. She's like, don't touch me, bro. Lay down. Lay down. Come here. I got stuck with the dog. Lay down.
Good She's girl. Like, touch me, don't touch me, touch me, don't touch me.
Touch me, touch me. Say that you'll touch me. I'm very disappointed.
It's one of the few lines in The Office that makes me laugh is Jim starts singing that song and then it cuts to Drew and he finishes it and he goes, "Oh, whatever happened to those guys?" I don't remember.
That's what they're going to be saying about us in a couple of years on YouTube. Whatever happened to those guys? No, I'm just kidding.
They bought YouTube.
Yeah, dude. Could you imagine someone who actually cares about content? Or I'm sorry, content freedom. As long as it's not pornography or showing the dead.
Yeah. Like, I that's why I like to categorize it as free speech, not necessarily. Like, it is the First Amendment, but I purposefully say speech because it's like you said, like there's censorship to a point, but like in terms of freedom of thought and speech, yeah, I'm all for that. Because honestly, the part that nobody talks about free speech is the fact that it's like, yes, you're free to say whatever you want, but that doesn't mean you're free of consequences.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
So, and that's what there's platforms, and we talk about this in the tutorials too, to bring it back around to doing a podcast. There's platforms like Rumble that, depending on your subject matter, may or may not be a fit for you. But I'll be honest, like Rumble as a platform, I don't particularly love.
No, it's because of the user integration or whatever you want to call it. It's clunky in my opinion. It's just not. it's not there yet. I feel like Rumble has lots of potential, but it's just not there yet. It's kind of like using electricity to power the world. We're not there yet.
Yeah, but the thing about Rumble that I'm really wary of is the type of people that it can attract. I'm not saying everybody on Rumble is like this, but I've seen some pretty extreme views just in passing on Rumble, and I'm just like, ooh, really?
Oh yeah.
It's like,
well, it's because they're allowed to say whatever they want.
Which ultimately I'm
rightfully so, as long as it's not, like a direct threat, period. I mean, a lot of things can be misconstrued as a threat. Be like, oh yeah, I'll see you Tuesday. It's like, oh, what are you trying to say? It's like, oh, we have class together Tuesday.
Well, no, and actually I struggle with this, so maybe you can help me through this to get in kind of the spirit of Arete. So do you think, I think free speech applies, but I guess, do you think there should be any sort of accountability for something? Like, okay, here's a good example. Because years ago, I did a video on 5 things you may not know about the Confederate flag. And I got inspired to do that video because you see it all the time. Some people bring up Confederate flag being like, especially in the South, they'll be like, oh, well, this isn't about racism. It's about my heritage, da, 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 da. And it's like, but is it though? Like, does ignorance of history make it okay for you to use because spoiler alert, the Confederate battle flag's a racist symbol?
Well, unfortunately, if someone is allowed to fly a pride flag, then someone's allowed to fly a pride rebel flag.
That's not what I'm talking about. I don't agree
with it.
I'm not talking about flying it. So like a good example of that would be, well, other than today, but let's say a good example of that would be the fact that like the Confederate battle flag was integrated into. Yes, I know, toast. That's why I specified Confederate battle flag. It is not. That is not. It is not. The stars and bars. The stars and bars is the actual Confederacy flag.
The cherries and berries.
Actually, no. I can shed light. It was the battle standard, and the reason it was the battle standard is because the actual Confederate flag looked too similar to the Union flag at a distance, so they changed the battle flag so that battlefield commanders could tell the ranks apart. So it actually was. Technically, it was the flag of the Army of Northern Virginia, but it was used widely across the Confederacy and had multiple variations.
Toast, we were just talking about you, man.
Cherries and berries.
Yeah.
Well, no, but here, and actually, Toast will give a unique perspective on this. Yeah, that's it. And you can see that video on the Arete YouTube channel right here. There's a playlist on the channel page, 5 things that's in there, along with 5 things you probably didn't know about Top Gun, D-Day, Godzilla, and I think there's one more. I can't remember. But you should definitely check those out because they're pretty good. But so that example, so does someone's having the freedom to fly, say, a Confederate battle flag, not saying they shouldn't be allowed to do it, but okay, a better example would probably be flying like the Nazi flag. I think we can all agree there's no justification.
I don't agree with it, but at the same time, if we're going to be talking about freedom of speech, someone can be an asshole and still have the freedom of speech as long as it's not a threat. Like when it comes to free speech, in my opinion, it's basically whatever as long as it's not a direct threat or, yeah, I would say honestly a threat.
I'm glad you said it that way because again, the whole freedom thing extends. Like, yes, you are.
I don't have to agree with it for it to be.
Well, I know, but here I'm going to give you an example, and this is where it gets into kind of a gray area. But like, yes, legally speaking, you have the right to do it. But let's assume that you're flying a Nazi flag. Yeah, I know, but this is. But again, the Nazis have ruined that symbol.
Yeah, and that's what sucks, dude, because like I hate Nazis, but that symbol is like
that symbol is ancient.
Cool.
That symbol's ancient though.
I know, and it's been around for a long time, and they put a dirty meaning to it.
The salute too, man. You know that was an American salute before it was a German salute.
That?
Yeah. But that was
that looks really good on this camera. I better put that down.
Well, and here's the worst part of it. That was an American salute first.
That's crazy.
And then they took it.
Did they also kick?
Probably. Oh, goose stepping? No, I think that was Italian.
Remember that?
First.
You remember that?
Yeah, I think that was Italian.
We made fun of that when we were kids.
Was it palm up? I've seen. I'm not going to do it, but I've seen. Or do you mean like this?
Stop.
Okay, but anyway, I'm getting. So okay, you used the Nazi flag as an example, and that's good. That's a good example. So let's say somebody's flying a Nazi flag and they pass by a Jewish person. I think you can make a case, and it's kind of vague, but I think you can make the case that that's threatening, considering the history.
I agree. But at the same time, unless that person directly threatens them, their right does not trump their right.
Well, but I guess where you get into the gray area is you're talking about a threat, which I agree with you. Where's that line drawn? Because let's be real here. If you're Jewish, that symbol is a direct opposition of your existence, or at least
Absolutely.
It was.
Absolutely agree.
So does that person then have justification to engage with the person flying that flag? And I mean, I'm not really sure what the answer is there.
If it's civil, but the thing is, once it starts getting violent or anything like that, yeah, shut it down. You know that person's a bigot.
Man, I think that's a real gray area, though.
I agree, but the thing is, man, like we can't be going back on stuff like that and then trying to say that this word means this, but does not apply to everything across the board just because one thing was worse than another. They're both bad.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying there's gray areas. And Toast, I'm gonna.
That's like the American flag. I mean, we were flying the American flag when slavery was around, and I know obviously it was abolished and whatnot, and we moved in the right direction. But like, do you get how I'm like tying that together a little bit?
Yeah, but here's the difference. So
very different.
But the American flag was also flown during a war where the whole war started was because many Americans wanted to get rid of slavery as an institution.
Agreed.
And certain states didn't, and they seceded. So that flag is actually a symbol of freedom. May not have been always, but at that point in time and thereon, it was a symbol of freedom. And Toast made 2 points, and yes, Toast, you're right. Before, it was actually a Roman salute. You are correct. I had a brain fart, and I don't really want to get deep in on this because I'm neither Jewish nor Palestinian, but I don't think they're the same thing because it's not like Nazi Germany was trying to make a two-state solution treaty with the Jewish population. They were trying to eradicate them. So I see your point, but I don't know if it's an equal example.
Evil people.
Yeah, like, I mean, if somebody is a Nazi apologist, most people just look at that person and say, you're nuts. You can't really justify the actions of the Nazi party, especially once war broke out. You can make some things about Hitler maybe trying to clean up the economy and all that, but once you started invading other countries, that's where the line. I would say the Civil War was probably. Well, no, actually, it's funny because you may be falling prey to the lost cause narrative, which unfortunately has been taught in a lot of American schools. I don't know about how deep they touch into it in Canada, but I mean that entire war is pretty much all about ending slavery. I don't know that racism is the best way to go about putting it, because even after the war, during Reconstruction, there were a lot of people that, even on the anti-slavery side, because there's this distinction that's rarely made. There's a difference between an abolitionist and an anti-slavery.
Trudeau's keeping everything in wrap.
Well, I can't remember what. Oh, it would have been outlawed in Canada. Slavery would have been outlawed in Canada when it was outlawed in England, which was, I can't remember. I want to say 1830 something. You might know that. Toast probably knows that.
I have a point here to make, specifically related to the topic of the video, podcasting. Exactly what's happening right here. We have someone, our good friend Toast, he's commenting, and that really helps a podcast out because you're able to riff, and it just makes it seamless and fun. So try to engage.
Say hi, Toast.
Hi, Toast. Yeah, Toast.
I was so happy I got to use the Haywood Banks song in a short.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I guess in Canada they would talk more about native reservations.
Hi, boys.
Now dance.
Sound like Crowley from Supernatural. Hello, boys.
But yeah, Toast, buddy, how's the podcast coming? Because we want some Breakfast Club.
That's awesome. Breakfast Club. That's just perfect.
His logo's pretty badass too. Not gonna lie.
I think you sent it to me, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I sent you the progression, so you saw where it started and then what it became.
Yeah.
But see, Toast is fun to talk to, but he'll throw you curveballs, man. Oh no, I'm just giving you shit. All good. I know it'll be fantastic.
I'm telling you what, dude. Just get it out there and just start from there, because the thing is, like, all you'll do, like, I actually explained this to Jake last time. So your first episode, you're gonna be shit. Just pay attention and see what works, and then be like, oh, okay, so that didn't work, I won't do that again. Or hey, this works, do this again.
Unless you're Haley and you just do a great episode right out of the gate.
Women.
They're better than we are.
I'm just kidding. No, the thing is, they're easier to watch because, unfortunately, we have this testosterone.
Oh, no, literally, like, the podcast was just better than our first one because, like, and her co-host Jensen made a really kick-ass background, which put us to shame.
Oh.
It was very good. Nah, Toast, we want your podcast, man. I told you from day one you got a great concept. Yeah, I just realized we have the entire network in here, save for one person. Brian! Get in the comments.
Was he on here too?
Well, Toast and Haley were... Oh, I guess Jensen's not here. Yes, you should start some breakfast shorts. You know what I'm also thinking? I think that me, you, and Toast should write up Warner Brothers and say, hey, let us write the reboot of Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
I am so down.
We'll do it for free for the first couple episodes, and then we can.
And we pretty much know we can already do Zorak and Brack. So.
Oh no, we don't even need to voice it. Just let us write it. Like, you can get the voice actors.
Everybody knows Space Ghost. See, I can't do that, but you can.
Not really. I can't do all the sound effects that guy can do. He's very talented. I listened. My phone was being stupid the other day, so I just shrugged my shoulders and put in Space Ghost Musical Barbecue on the drive home. Oh man, I was listening to it on my way down to the podcast, actually.
Oh yeah. Well, to be fair, I have not watched Space Ghost in a long time, but I go back and listen to the album Backyard Barbecue quite a bit.
It's so good. I just love the Space Ghost skits where a hero in his own mind and he's just going like dun 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 dun. And at one point he's like, it's so good. Well, I mean, I don't think it really holds up. I think they need to reboot it and actually do new animation for it.
Yeah, it's pretty dated.
Or at the very least, actually, and we have the technology to do this better now, you can still use the old animation, but learn to change the mouth movements like Team 4-Star did for DBZ Abridged. Dude. So you can make it like... was that done by the same people of Aqua Teen? No, they actually... they reused old Hanna-Barbera footage. Although I think they updated some of the stuff for Brack because that character design was a little different.
Brack.
Barnyard animals.
Oink!
Quack.
It's such a good song.
Sing it, Fuzzy.
I'm a little teapot, short and stout.
It smells like...
Asparagus and cabbage. It smells like unsubscribers. No, I'm just kidding.
It smells like Cartoon Planet. Woo-wee.
Dude, speaking of guitar solos, that so good.
Oh, welcome, Sosa. Jonathan Majors staying in the MCU. Yeah, who doesn't remember Brack?
Who's Jonathan Majors?
I don't fucking know.
You better know.
I have a fucking clue.
It sounds really familiar.
I know. I'm having a brain fart. By the way, Sosa, did you watch The Flash?
Our review is tomorrow, so go easy.
Please tell me you're gonna tear that one a new asshole too.
Kang the Conqueror.
Oh,
was he in? He wasn't in there.
He was in Quantum Mania.
Yeah, that was Marvel. We watched the DC movie.
Yeah. Toast wants to know if we like Smiling Friends. I don't know. What is the Smiling Friends?
Hey.
Don't do that. You're reminding me of the horror movie. Quit it.
Hey.
Quit it. That'll freak you right out.
I know, right?
It makes you uncomfortable.
The funny thing about Zoom is I could just like barely I could be talking for like a few seconds and it not pop on me, but I could just barely breathe or make a tiny noise and it's just on me while you're talking. I'm just like sitting here like
Yeah, Sosa did watch The Flash. Really? I don't know. I agree with you. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I will say that. But it definitely has some issues. But I look forward to your review. Toast is going to send us a link to Smiling Friends.
French toast?
French? No, he's not from
Quebec. Well, I mean, he's Canadian. A lot of them came from France. I need a haircut.
Well, all I'm saying, by the way, Sosa still has the record for most viewed Arete podcast, so he's the man to beat.
Oh yeah, that one did really well?
Well, it's done the best out of them so far, and also he also has the record for coolest backfist ever.
Oh, dude, hey, that was so good.
You know what? I agree with that. Sosa says the first hour of The Flash was horrible, but it gets better when Batman comes in. I agree with that.
Dude, seriously, like. We'll get into it tomorrow because I could.
Yeah, we don't want to. There was a moment where I was literally like, okay, that was cool. Of course it did. Did you know Marks have 38% more testosterone than Marks?
Fridge toast.
This is what I'm talking about. This is a clever bastard right there. He's quite the fun to talk to.
Are you assuming his dad is gone?
Well, that doesn't mean his dad's dead. It just means his dad had sex with another woman.
He's gone.
Well,
because if the dad's around, he's not a bastard.
No. If the dad.
Oh, if they're not married, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah, Toast is good people. I still want to one day. We'll have like a big anniversary Average Intelligence episode where we'll get all the guests we've ever had on one giant Zoom call and just go apeshit nuts.
Listen, no, not even Zoom call. Like one of these days, if we're all big enough, conference room.
Yeah, actually, yeah. One of these days we'll
that would be cool.
Well, and you know what's messed up? I think Indiana might be the center point for almost everybody.
Oh shit! Yeah, sorry, everybody's got to come to us.
It's actually pretty funny. Gotta admit.
Yeah, toast. Yeah,
toast. I wish I had a toaster. Hang on.
Oh, there's a Joyride. I just saw Joyride over 2 weeks early. Joyride is that a remake of the movie with Paul Walker? Dude, that would be awesome, Toast. Do you partake in a beverage? Jake's not a drinker.
No, I'm going to great lengths for a very bad joke.
I was gonna say because if It's an Asian chick film.
Yeah, toast.
Yeah, I was gonna say Jake. He's a designated DD.
I'm a designated driver.
Dick driver. That sounds.
That's my stage name.
Dick driver. Do you also dance for children?
I do not.
Later, Sosa.
Peace out. It's not a metal toaster. It doesn't work. Actually, if we get big enough, what I would love...
PBRs. No Bud Light?
I'll tell you what, though. If we got big enough, I would love to be able to license that song for Toast's podcast.
PBR?
No, not PBR. Yeah, Toast.
Oh, shit, yeah. Bob and Tom, right?
No, it's Haywood Banks. Although Haywood Banks performed it on Bob and Tom.
Oh, okay. Well, see, I'm glad you know that because I did not.
Haywood Banks is... he should have had a better career. He was kind of... He wasn't the first musical comedian, but he was way before like the big names like Stephen Lynch came into the scene.
I'm liquor over beer.
That's true. That's true. When you drink, you don't like to half-ass.
And the funny thing is, I can actually hold up really well for how much I do.
You do. And I will say, you're a fun person to be around when he's drunk, because you're always a happy drunk.
Yeah, like people that just aren't happy drunks, I'm just like, you're drinking for another reason, and you don't need to be drinking.
Oh, yeah, Toast. Oh, that would be a great outro song for you.
Danger Zone. I swear to God, if they play Kenny Loggins one more time.
Turn off the light.
Was it Kenny Loggins that they played on 40-Year-Old Virgin? Was it Kenny Loggins they played on 40-Year-Old Virgin? And he's like, if I have to hear Yamo be there, Yamo kill everyone.
No, it's not Kenny Loggins.
Oh, no. His name starts with a D. First name.
I'm drawing a blank.
Damn.
I just love Paul Rudd's like, if I hear Yamo be there one more time, I'm going to Yamo burn this place to the fucking ground.
Yeah, dude, alcoholics are annoying.
Yeah, they can be. They certainly can be.
Real alcoholics, not like people that drink like 3 times a year. That's me.
Yeah. Which, by the way, everyone, if you haven't noticed, this is how you do a podcast. You have audience participation. I look forward to the day when we have to tell people, not because we're trying to make money, but when we have to tell people super chats only because the chat thread is just too big.
Or you switch to subscribers only.
Yeah, either.
No. Is a subscriber? What do they call that?
The volleyball.
Subscription.
Yeah. The volleyball song is Playing With Them Boys. That's the name of it anyway. Which, speaking of Top Gun, how good was Top Gun Maverick?
Fantastic.
It was freaking epic. And I will say, like, and this perfectly encapsulates the movie. I'm like, how are you going to improve Top Gun? They did. And then literally, you've got the Top Gun anthem, which is one of the single most badass pieces of music ever composed. And they're like, how can you make this better? And then Hans Zimmer goes, hold my beer.
Oh,
well,
no, dude.
We actually can't super chat right now.
No, you can't super chat until you're monetized.
And we would never take your money, Toast.
No way. But
we just give it back to you.
We are close.
Oh, you haven't seen Top Gun Maverick? No. You have seen Top Gun, though, haven't you, Toast?
It's okay if you haven't, because honestly, I never watched Top Gun, and Top Gun Maverick was amazing.
Have you still not watched Top Gun?
I had to ask a few questions. Dude, I don't know what it is. Somebody tells me to watch something, my brain just like, don't watch that. And
yeah,
I'm
I know.
Like, it sounds good. And my brain's like, no.
No.
And I'm just like, it does.
You're welcome, Toast. We appreciate your support, too. We haven't given it back yet, but...
I ain't no holler back, girl.
Need some more of that cherry slushy.
Dude, I'm telling you what.
What?
The best thing about AMC theaters? The slushies.
I was gonna say Dolby, but
Well, they're not really slushies; they're ices, right?
yeah, technically they're ices.
It's an icy is different than a slushie. Like
it
an
has
icy,
more ice in it. Yeah.
yeah. Well, it's more like broken down. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like what are those not snow cones, ice? I don't know, whatever they are.
Well, so it's my understanding that an icy is just essentially a more concentrated snow cone.
You're a concentrated snow cone.
Yes, of course he's seen Top Gun. See, he's not even an American and he's seen Top Gun.
I feel attacked, like Pearl.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do about it?
I'm gonna go cry to myself.
What is your preference, slushy or icy?
Oh, me. Icy. I like slushies, but icy's, man, they're just where it's at.
Frosters sounds amazing, and also sounds
Frosters.
very. It also
Australian
sounds
for beer.
not Frosters. It also sounds.
I didn't see that.
It also sounds very Canadian.
Dude, Toast, what is up with the dressed all over chips? Like I was watching and this is very like this is actually kind of racist towards Canadians, but like what is it with dressed all over zesty chips or something like that? Like I was watching on Trailer Park Boys. He's like, yeah, give me some dressed all over or zesty or something like that. Frosters beat all ices are all syrup. Yep. Oh, I've never had a Froster, but I tell you what.
Sounds good.
I could have. All dressed chips are godly in nature. See, I swear it's a Canadian thing.
Well, yes, it is a Canadian thing.
I know, but the thing is, you want to know something about Canada that I really like? They have a certain brand of chips that they still sell, and they don't sell in America. And I typically buy. You know what? I need to get a hold of you, Toast. I could pay for shipping, and you could send me these.
I don't know if
old barbecue Doritos.
I don't know if you'll get fucked by customs because I sent Toast that equipment, and he got a bill for $60 Canadian for
barbecue
importing.
Salt, vinegar, and ketchup. Okay, that sounds fantastic. Yeah, Jake's a weirdo. He doesn't prefer like sauces at all.
No,
he eats salad without dressing. Like seriously, we got a Patrick Bateman on our hands.
If you need to put dressing on your salad, it means your salad sucks.
No, it enhances it.
Yes.
All right. You guys want to know something weird about Jake? he used to the nasty McDonald's chicken nuggets back in the day. They're not nasty now, but back when they were like
they're
really processed thigh meat,
he
would tear off the skin and eat the chicken out of it and not eat the skin.
No, I would eat the skin.
Oh, he would eat it separately. It was it was so weird. I shouldn't be telling you guys this, but it's actually really funny, and I think this should be on his channel.
I don't care.
I know.
I used to also eat my burgers in a circle.
He also did not eat the crispy edges of fries.
That's true. I used to not. It's true.
It's
See, like I said before, you can't embarrass us.
This is basically
I'm going to tell them
guys how thick skin is beneficial.
I'm going to tell them the bowling ball story, which I think we told on the Average Intelligence podcast, though.
That's crazy that FedEx would do that.
Well, it's not FedEx, it's customs.
Oh.
Yeah, but here's why this pisses me off, Toast, because he said something about paying import taxes, and I said, that's fine, whatever, just tell me how much it is. I thought they had already charged me that. I was like, it's bullshit, but whatever. And then they sent him a bill, and I feel like the Canadian government's double dipping.
I mean, you got to pay for that health care.
They can't pay to put out the goddamn fire. But
yeah, have you looked at an air quality map?
Yep.
Okay, So obviously, I'm assuming that the wind is pushing all the fires down, but like the air quality, like literally on the border of Canada and up, is not that bad, and everything below it is like really bad, like 200 plus.
Yeah,
Like
because
here
it's
in
pushing.
Indiana, we were at like 2 something like yesterday.
Yeah, because it's pushing all the smoke down.
I
So
know, but still though, it's like on the border, like that area pushing it down, like
it's a
weird.
Canadian plot.
No, I don't think it's Canadian plot at all.
No, I think we should invade.
We're bringing Toast with us, though.
Toastus will just break his arm and get his money back in free healthcare. So anyway, the bowling ball story. I love this story. So your school, if you're listening to this, your school may not have had a program like this, so I'll briefly explain it. We had a vocational program where basically for the first half of the day, we would go to another campus and learn a special skill. In our case, we were learning, it was computer operations, yeah, was the name of the class. So anyway, we'd go to school, then we'd take a bus to the vocational center, and then we'd take a bus back. On the bus back, Christmas was coming up. This was sometime in November. And we were just talking about Christmas, blah, blah. And somehow, some way, the conversation turns to what Eric thinks his girlfriend at the time was going to get him for Christmas. And our buddy Anthony looks at him and goes, now he's sitting across the busway and it's kind of loud, so you can understand how Eric misheard him. So Anthony says, I bet she's just going to walk out and put a bow on it. Eric heard bowling ball. So then Eric, being the avid bowler that he is, goes, a bowling ball? That'd be awesome!
Yeah, that's not one of my finer moments, but I was so excited. I was like, how do you know what my girlfriend's getting me?
But did you get your bowling ball?
I did not.
I know, that's unfortunate.
Did get a bow on it, though.
So you did get your Christmas gift.
Not the one I wanted. Just kidding.
It would have been hilarious if she'd gotten you a blue bowling ball.
Oh. No, she was sweet, but she wasn't funny.
Oh, no, I tried to orchestrate this. This is what a conniving fucker I am. Because Keatle was dating her friend at the time, wasn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, I tried to get him to, through his girlfriend, get your girlfriend to get you a bowling ball for Christmas. I offered to pay. He wouldn't do it.
He didn't. What a chump.
I know. I was like, dude, that would have been too funny.
Yeah. That would have definitely paid off. I'm just saying.
Well, the thing is, and I will admit it's a fault of mine. I am way too into bits. Like, I will spend more money than I should for the sake of comedy.
Yeah.
And it's worth it. Case in point, the podcast we did where we were replaced by our brainwashed leftist selves. I bought a pink wig, a new set of glasses, and a new shirt just for a gag.
That was a fun one, though.
That was. I can't believe I stayed in character the whole time.
Badass feminist.
Still have that shirt, by the way. Oh, no, I wore it on our International Women's Day episode. Or Women's History Month.
Dude, that thumbnail. I matter. I meant for that to actually be a positive thing. And then when you noticed it, and I was like, oh.
Crap.
Yeah, I was like, that was totally unintentional. Like not even meaning to be like that at all.
Okay. Well, as per usual, we have devolved, but it's fine because that's what podcasts are for.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, it's entertainment. So, but to kind of circle us back to where we were heading with this, just kind of
like
give
a circle.
It's like a circle to bring it full circle. Just remind everybody that hopefully you enjoyed this episode and kind of got inspired. I doubt it, but maybe you did get inspired to take the plunge and start doing a podcast, which I think you should absolutely do, whether or not you do it through our network. I encourage you to just get started. But if you would like some help and guidance, you can reach out to me via Instagram. I forgot to put the link in the description, but I will do so immediately after the live stream. So you can reach out to me and I can give you more information, or you can just go on aretemedia.org. That link is in the description. You can see the 4 podcasts that are currently on there, soon to be joined by Toast. And like I said, we've got it's a hidden YouTube playlist with our tutorial videos. Sorry about the yawn.
You got me.
I know, it's contagious. Toast is very inspired. That's true. I try to be inspirational. But you've got the hidden playlist with all the tutorial videos on there. And you'd have access to anyone if you need a guest, if you need help, if you need guidance, if you just need somebody to tell you that you're not bad at this. Watch out for Breakfast Club coming summer 2023. That's the spirit.
Look out for Breast Club.
I'm already a lifetime member.
I know, right? That damn gynomastica. I've got it too.
It's really unfortunate now, though, because now I have muscle behind them.
He's like,
But they're still
I can
there.
flex them, but they're still...
Yeah, they're
like
still there. I have fun with it, though.
They'll make me turn into the Rock. That's impressive. I don't care what anyone says.
It's funny when you realize you can do it, though, and then you can just, like, you can start doing it to the beats of certain songs.
Dude, they look good when I was 19. Anyway.
But yeah, after all that nonsense, Breast Club. After all that nonsense, start your podcast. Just do it, like Nike. That's it. That's just start it. Just go right now. Go do it. In all seriousness, you absolutely should. It's never been easier to start a podcast, and we can literally help you cut through the learning curve, because if there's a mistake that's been made in podcasting, we've done it. We've started a podcast with no audio.
Several times.
I was going to say that's happened more than once. And then our Mario special, for some reason, we still don't know why that happened. We had that weird echo. Still can't tell you.
That was because our microphones were a little too close together.
Our first podcast, the camera died.
Yeah, that was a weird setup. I did my best with what I had at that time.
But look at us now. Now we've got a multi-camera setup.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, we also have equipment recommendations if you so need.
Yeah, actually, these new 4K cameras are actually really decent.
Along with those ring lights. Very nice.
That's creepy.
You look like Android 19. That's more like the Pillsbury Doughboy.
I'm going to take your energy.
Let's never do that again.
Smeagol's not an android.
I know, right? That was terrible. That was the worst voice.
Oh,
for an
Android 19?
Well, because it sounded like it was inside of a box, inside of his throat, inside of another box.
He is an android, though.
That's true.
I like what DBZA did with it, though, and they just did a literal text-to-speech.
They did what? Really?
Yeah. That's what the voice...
Hilarious.
Oh, God, it's so funny.
They were doing YouTube Shorts before YouTube Shorts.
In a way, yeah.
That's actually clever.
It's
Nice.
it's good. It's good stuff. We're doing YouTube Shorts for YouTube Shorts. Let's see, what other mistakes have we made? We've had, guests having to cancel for various reasons is just a thing. Like it's going to happen. You learn to adapt with it.
Or have a backup.
Yeah, which we rarely have a backup. But some of our gems, because actually our best performing live podcast only exists because you got sick very suddenly.
What was that, with Toast?
No, the All Quiet on the Western Front.
Yeah, that one did really well.
It's our best performing live podcast to date. Although, I don't know, there's a couple that are creeping up. Might get overtaken. But that episode would not have existed had Eric not gotten sick very, very suddenly.
Yeah, which happens a lot here lately.
Well, no, but you
what's wrong
literally,
with me?
you texted me the day before and you're like, hey, just a heads up, I may not be I may not be available. So I'm like, that's fine. I will totally go see All Quiet on the Western Front. And then I came home and talked about it for like 2 hours.
Listen, if you have kids and they go to school, just eat a lot of vitamins.
You're going to get sick. Like it's gonna happen. It's just gonna happen.
It's inevitable. I am inevitable.
You just put it in a microscope and you see germs. I am inevitable. Let's see, what other mistakes have we made?
I'm trying to think.
We did get one episode. Well, it's not banned. It was removed from YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube was being very prickish. Is that a word? They were being very prickish with us when they were basically trying to say we were spewing medical misinformation. You're going to have issues like this because, unfortunately, YouTube has certain trigger words, and they're going to assume you're saying something that you're not. It happens a lot. I actually fought a couple of, what were they, strikes? And we won. I got them removed because I was like, did anyone happen to watch what we were talking about?
No, and that's the trouble with YouTube when you're not monetized because you have no direct contact.
Yeah. In one of the appeals, I was like, this feels bad. I was like, I think I might need to speak to an attorney, and they instantly reversed.
No, we'll take that off. We'll take that off.
I was just like, okay, well, I was like, I don't have a problem talking to them.
If you literally on TikTok, if you say or type the word Andrew Tate, you will get a community guidelines violation. Now
your phone just catches on fire.
Now when you appeal it, you're fine. But it's really sad that you'll get a community guidelines violation just for saying the word Andrew Tate.
Yeah, they China, they're not about people rising up, just saying.
They don't like Andrew Tate.
Should I eat the cuttlefish?
No, just my shitty wall. What else have we done? So we got an episode removed, but you can see that episode on Rumble. So at the very least, Rumble is good for that.
Yeah, the title was amazing.
Title was awesome.
Flying with Delta, masks required.
And the thumbnail was an airplane with a mask on it.
It was hilarious.
That was
the thing
good.
is, we weren't even like talking trash about the mask like everyone else. We were literally saying this and that, like, which was at the time truthful, and then they took it down just because they didn't like it.
I think it literally was what I was saying about. I'm not even going to say it, but like the one vaccine versus another. I think that's what their issue was, even though I didn't say anything that wasn't factually true.
No, we said do your research and choose what's best for you.
Oh, well, see, that's probably why they flagged us. Because we were.
Oh, boy, that's just so controversial.
I know, we were telling people to think for themselves.
Making it up your own mind and using your own brain?
That's hard, man.
I know. That's what she said.
What else have we done? We haven't actually, come to think of it, as many episodes as we've done, we haven't really screwed up that much.
I mean, there are probably things we could do better, but as per screwing up, not really.
I do feel like every episode did get better over time.
Well, because the thing is, like, when you first start out, it's going to be a little clunky. You're not going to be, like, able to, like, just riff really easy. I mean, some people can, like Toast, but if you're not able to riff very easy, you're going to have a learning curve, and then eventually you'll get to it, you know, and then everything will click and it'll make sense if it's something you want to keep at and keep progressing with.
Yeah, and actually the true irony is the key to doing, if you find yourself doing a solo podcast, even for just one episode, the trick to not kind of have dead air constantly while you're thinking is to not think about thinking about it. I know that doesn't make any sense, but it's like if you stop focusing on trying to talk and just kind of let your brain do its thing and just vocalize it, you'll find that it's a lot easier than you think it is, which that's actually worth noting. We've never worked with a script ever.
Those who can't teach teach Jim.
No, the closest we've had to a script is I've had notes before. But no, we never had a script, including the episodes where we're in character the whole time.
Our Alex Jones and Ben Shapiro was 100% riffing, and I don't care what anyone says. There was what was it? The aliens on the moon. I was hitting something there, and you're just like, wait a minute.
Oh, that's a good screw up. So
the end did not work out, but the thing is, if I would have changed like one or two things and it made sense, but at the end of it, because it was just coming to me as I was doing it, but that was
I was also very proud of some of the ad spots. Now I will say
the Ben Shapiro ads were amazing.
Yeah, I had ideas kind of written down, but they were not scripted out, so a lot of that stuff I made up on the fly.
You know what? It's time. You need to go back to that podcast and pull out some shorts from it.
Oh, I don't think I haven't already thought of that.
I feel like they would do well in this nature now.
The clips are actually probably what I'll download and pull from.
Okay.
Yeah.
Turn the friggin' frogs.
I think my favorite one though, well, my favorite one was the Billy Bob's all body lotion. Where Buffalo Bills, not Billy Bob's, Buffalo Bills body lotion, where I said it puts the lotion in the basket and then puts it in a box and ships it directly to your door. But it seemed like the audience liked the state of Florida ad where I was like, where the weather and freedom always reign.
Oh, dude, seriously, like that would make a killer short.
I'll make some. I'll go. That's another thing. I will warn you, this can be very time consuming.
And addicting because like Jake's been doing this for quite a while doing shorts. And I'm telling you, like, he just gets better and better at them, and they're insanely good.
The best ones, though, are when you just have this idea in your head and you're kind of like the J. Jonah Jameson with the newspaper. Like, it was not acceptable to not have that be a smooth transition. So I just had to kind of figure out how to make that work on the fly. And of course, the other one did better.
I know.
I was so mad.
You know, and that's another thing. I was watching a video with Mr. Beast, and he was talking. I believe it was the CEO of YouTube or something like that.
Yep.
And he was basically saying that if your videos are not doing well, it's not the algorithm. It's just because people aren't enjoying your content. And I'm like, I will say though, when YouTube pushes our videos and we get certain algorithm boosts, our videos get a lot of likes.
That's true.
Like,
yeah.
So
and
I'm
actually,
like, if people are if they're boosting our videos and we're not getting likes, yeah, that makes sense. It's terrible content. But if we're getting like hundreds of likes, like really quickly, and then all of a sudden they stop pushing our video, I think what they're doing is they push it to see if it will naturally progress, kind of like the Spider-Man shorts right now.
Yeah, but how can something naturally progress if the nature of the platform is they put stuff in front of people?
YouTube.
Yeah,
it's an enigma. You know, that they like giant creators because they make them the most money, and I get it. I wholly get it. But don't claim you're for the small creators.
Oh, you're not. You're so not.
And I get it. As a business person, I get it. And I'm not hating on that because guess what? We're still going to build. We're still going to be right here.
Well, but you could do monetization tiers though.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. And honestly, YouTube, are you lying about the early access to the monetization program? Because we still haven't seen anything up yet. You know, it's still saying 1,000 subscribers, which we have now. But what is it? The 4,000 watch hours went down to 3,000, and then the shorts views went down from 10 million to 3 million, which is like a little, better in my opinion, because 10 million, it's like, dude, you have to be pretty popular to get 10 million views.
You have to have multiple viral shorts to get.
And if you got 10 million views in 90 days, like that's pretty dang decent.
That's when you're looking at them, it's like, freaking start paying me.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, what about some back pay, bro? Which they don't.
Well, question for you though is
Yeah.
what's been your favorite podcast we've done so far? That's very hard.
I got
to
a
answer.
couple. I got all right. They're going to be different types, but if you want to talk standard podcasts that we've done, okay, well, we'll go off the wall. The Alex Jones and Ben Shapiro was really fun.
That was so much fun.
And then, honestly, it doesn't really count as a podcast, but the one where we were abducted.
That one was fun. That was a lot of fun.
Because it wasn't long, and we were like, "Yeah, we're gonna make a short one tonight." We just go in and do that, and then we shut it. We just let.
That's another thing. When you do this long enough, like you start getting really creative. And what that was is we were already. I wouldn't say we were burnt out, but like we needed a break. And what it was is we've been doing it for so long, we hadn't really gained any traction. And we were just tired. And then YouTube pulled the one episode, and we were just over it. And we needed a break. So we just made that really short episode, and it gave us an excuse to have a break. And we already had an idea of what to do to come back. And that actually got us excited because I think we only took a couple weeks.
I feel like we were gone for like 6 weeks.
Oh, maybe we were. But we had the plan. We knew we were going to come back, and we knew what we were going to do. But we just took some time to...
Yeah.
Which now it's like, geez, now I can't imagine taking a break now.
No, it's normal now. Like back then, like when you're growing slowly, like you will get discouraged, but just hang in there, because it's only going to get better and better and better. You're only going to get better and better, but you have to put in the time and work, just like with anything.
Well, and it's like consistency will make you grow. If you stop doing it, then you can't grow.
Yeah, just like Smash Mouth said. You never shine if you don't glow. It's like, do I have to go roll around in some toxic waste to glow?
I'm going to save Quahog. You have cancer.
Dude, you have stage 4 lymphoma. Oh, dang.
But do I have superpowers?
No.
No. Why would you do that? I don't know, man. I don't think I can really say a favorite episode. There have been some that were just way too much fun. But like I like the really long, obnoxious ones. Although I gotta say the Spider-Man one was pretty good.
The No Way Home one?
No, the Across the Spider-Verse one.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I feel like we were in our element for that one. Although the next one was actually, I think, a better podcast, but it was a little bit more broad. So
well, and that's the thing about our reviews. They've gone from a certain type of like chaos into structured chaos now.
Well, it's just we've given up trying to go chronologically because the Mortal Kombat review, I feel like, set that in stone. Like, this is not going to happen. Which the Mortal Kombat review is one of my favorite episodes because I thought it was hilarious. You and your ADD self, Habibu.
Do what?
Habibu.
Oh. Habibu. Habibu.
Habibu.
Harry Bear.
That's a good episode too. That one's entertaining. The Mortal Kombat 2020, was that 2021 or 2020 review?
It was 2021.
Yes, it was.
It was like June
yes,
or something like that. I think it was in the summer.
Yep. That one was a lot of fun. And then actually Tribute's a great episode.
You know what? Okay, I do actually have a favorite podcast that we've done, and it was the Power Rangers podcast with Ben.
Yeah, that was Tribute.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, that was so
Tribute?
good.
Okay.
Yeah. And
yeah, because we talked about it.
And the irony
didn't record it.
Is actually the best podcast we ever had was never recorded. And that's why.
That was when we was making fun of Ben choking his chicken.
No, that one's on camera.
No, that's what I'm saying. We were making fun of him. He's just like, I'm not going to eat my sandwich. We're like, dude, just eat your sandwich. You're good, bro.
Yeah, to be fair, if we do have a fault, it's that we're so used to it that it can be a little much for some people.
Yeah.
But the difference between us and some other people is as soon as he got uncomfortable, we stopped.
Yeah. That's
And
the
we were
thing.
like, no, man, come on, finish your sandwich. We'll stop. We promise.
Read the room.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't just keep going. Like, oh, God, we'll rip on each other the whole time. But
Well, and on top of that, both of us have been and technically are salesmen, so therefore we kind of know how to read people a little bit,
yeah,
just
you
a little bit.
you can tell. But yeah, that was a really good episode. It's a shame because if the audio, we were working with what we had, you can hear it though. You just have to turn your volume up. But
Well, and that's another thing. If anyone's watching on PC, like you said, turn the volume up, or even on headphones or whatever, like you can hear it.
Yeah, but we have better microphones now. But yeah, man, that's a good. Although I'll be honest, it's hard to watch sometimes because it just makes me miss Ben.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, it's such a good podcast though.
Oh, hold on one sec. I don't think I've showed this on here before.
Oh, the shirt?
Yep.
Yeah.
At least not on your channel. So therefore,
No, not on my channel.
we can. This is an ode to him.
Which actually, we need to make our own.
Can we see it? Hello. There we go. There he is. The boat. The baddest of all time. That was his wrestling persona, right?
The boat and genocide and Trent. No, not Trent. Kurt Acid. Trent Acid is another independent wrestler.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Different one. Kurt Acid was his ring name, but for a while he went as Genocide, and then he had just returned to his Kurt Acid moniker and was the Boat, the best of all time, in XCW, an independent promotion based out of our hometown in Shelbyville, Indiana, which you can see on YouTube. And Brian is also I can't remember if Brian's an active wrestler for them or if he retired.
I've seen him.
I know
Okay,
he was.
yeah.
I'm talking about now. I think he joined their commentary team full time, but he might still wrestle. I'm not sure.
Cool.
I should ask him that because he said something about not wrestling, but I don't know if that was temporary. But yeah, Tribute might be my favorite one, but it's hard. It also has our best performing video clip was from that one.
At one point, our best performing video clip. Oh no, is it the video clip?
It's the video clip, not the short.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah. Yep.
It also has one of my favorite clips on it when we were talking about Japan being an odd place, and you just go, because I told you there are places in Japan where you can buy used panties out of vending machines, and you just pause and go, I just want a cheeseburger, man.
I don't want no panties. I need a double cheese.
Oh, I hit the wrong button and got a dog. Damn it.
Oh my gosh, dude. Hey, lay down.
Oh, man.
Talking to you, Jake.
Rule number one of doing a podcast, though, is it's got to be fun. Because if you're not having fun, there's no point in doing it.
Pretty much, because if you're miserable, guess what?
If it feels like work, you're going to be miserable. Because I work enough. I don't need my hobbies to feel like work. Although, don't get me wrong, I would love for this to be the full-time gig, but I'd never work another day in my life. We'd just be sitting there texting each other. We'd be like, hey, another stupid video idea to put on the channel and make us another few $1,000.
Well, I mean, if things work out in my favor, maybe we will be ending up doing that.
I mean, at the rate we're growing, like it's so weird, man, because both of us kept saying, it's like, we feel like we're real close to getting a jump. And sure enough, within a few weeks, we had those two shorts go viral.
Yeah, that was wild to see. Like I still can't believe that one is almost at 500,000.
And it's still going. It's still averaging about 30,000 a day, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think we've been averaging like almost 15 to 20 subs a day.
Give or take, yeah. Let's take a look, shall we? Oh, wrong channel.
Yeah. I haven't looked in a while.
Let's see,
say
1124.
1124.
Tommy Maguire's Uncle Ben just took off.
There we go. Peter. That was good that you put that in there. That's funny.
I was actually worried about that one. I thought that one might get some hate, but let's see.
That's another thing is about podcasting. Like you can take your long form content and break it down into shorts content, just like Jake has been doing, and really the growth is insane. Like, as long as you put out decent content, that's actually going to get noticed.
Yeah. Another thing that'll help your sanity if you do this is don't so much pay attention to the comments, pay attention to the like and dislike ratio, because the one where we're making fun of the scene where Uncle Ben dies in the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, 80 people like it, 7 people dislike it. 92% of the audience liked it. And our channel average is worthy of note is 93.4% likes.
Dude, that the short that I posted, I was seeing, I was actually doing an experiment to see how like a meme short would do, and it got like almost 50-50 on likes and dislikes.
Yeah, so we've got, in the past 48 hours, we got almost 99,000 views. The Miguel O'Hara short got 39,500. Spider-Man 2099 is wrong, which is the first one that that went viral, is 38.9 thousand, and then Is There More Than One Miguel O'Hara 12,500 in the last 48 hours.
So basically, you people like Spider-Man.
Apparently. But even our average views have gone up. So again, it's a process.
Well, of course they've gone up. We've got several hundred subscribers from just 2 of those shorts.
Yeah, we did. And by the way, thank you all. Oh, this isn't that channel. Fuck you all.
Yeah.
You're not watching. Any other things to add for podcasting, or you want to wrap her up?
Wrap it up, but don't lose hope. Just keep grinding. Like, if you think you've got something, just keep going. I mean, the worst thing you're going to do is waste a little bit of time, and especially if you're doing it with a friend, it's like you're never truly wasting time as long as you're doing it with a friend, because you're essentially hanging out, have a conversation.
Yeah, it's funny. Since we started doing the podcast, we, even outside of the podcast, we hang out more and more.
Yeah.
Like, well, I mean, we just had a date to go see The Flash.
Yeah, and he bought my ticket.
I was
and
gonna
my
say,
drink.
I even paid.
I didn't even put out.
Trust me, you didn't have to. No, but that's the second time. We should do it that way anyhow, because for some reason, whenever I buy your movie ticket, it's only $7 for me.
That's so weird.
I don't know why, but it's been that way the past couple of times.
Thanks, Biden. You're making my best friend buy my tickets.
Well, I would have done it for simplicity. Even if you were going to give me the money, I would do it that way just for simplicity's sake. So.
I know. Yeah, well, so that way the tickets can get ordered on time. Yeah, because the thing is, if you're not a member's, you have to pay that convenience fee to buy it online. You're still getting the money for it, jerks.
Yeah, they're trying to get you to pay their monthly subscription.
And I get it. And, like I said, I'm a businessman.
Hey,
I
man,
support it.
AMC A-List is totally worth it if you like to go to the movies fairly often.
I like to. I just don't have time.
Yeah.
Like, I have to move things around just so we can go sometimes.
Well, I'm getting frustrated because, like, I'll be like, I really want to go to the movies, and then there's nothing good playing. Yeah. And it's like, I literally get my ticket for free, and I would rather not go than sit through this crap.
He gets his ticket for free at Education Connection.
Long story short, if you want to start a podcast, do it. And if you'd like help doing it and get put on a platform with multiple independent creators who, by the way, we're not going to tell you what to do. If you ask advice, we'll give you advice. You don't have to do anything. We only ask for a little bit of cross-promotional rub. And if you ever need guests, you have access to a few different guests.
And as of right now, there are 2 channels within our network with over 1,000 subscribers. So, I mean, that's already a start.
Yeah, so now we got to work on getting the wrestling content up, although their subscriber count is going up slowly but surely. But we shall close it out. Thank you for enjoying this episode of the Arete podcast. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like, hit the subscribe button if you already have. I don't know why I did this. That was weird. Apologize. I meant to do a thumbs up and then the pinky just came out too. It's just, hello. But like, share, and subscribe. Send it to people if you think they'll enjoy it. Send it to people if you don't think they'll enjoy it. Just make them watch it. Sit them down, strap them to a chair, tape their eyes open, a la Clockwork Orange, and just make them watch all of it. Put it on a loop. And then check out the other episodes too. And make sure you get your best candle you'll ever burn, steviewicks.com. Get your 4th of July candles before the 4th, when they will no longer be available. But don't worry. If you miss the 4th of July candles, I can tell you, but I'm not going to show them yet because they're not available yet. Immediately after the 4th of July, the summer line will be replacing the spring line. So if you still want some spring candles, make sure you get them because they will be available. I know it's already summer, or at least I think it's summer now. If it's not, it will be soon. I think it became summer on like the 22nd or something. But the spring line and the 4th of July candles will be rolling off the site to make way for the summer collection. So definitely get those. Spoiler alert, there's a candle that looks and smells like a watermelon. So be on the lookout for that. Check out aretemedia.org to check out all the podcasts on the Arete Podcast Network. Check out the blog. Check out the history of the All Events Welcome Championship, which hopefully this year will be replaced by a new championship. Just like a fun cross-promotional game we play in the network. Which before, I think I'm going to change the rules actually. I think before it was open to everyone, but I think now it has to be connected in network somehow. Now, even if somebody in the network knows somebody they want to compete, but this prevents it from having to be shipped somewhere randomly in the world and then the belt disappears. So I think we'll make that change, but we'll announce everything when that happens. If you would rather listen to the podcast rather than watch it, I mean, why would you? But you can, because we've made that easy for you. You can listen to the audio version of the podcast on YouTube Music, Spotify, Amazon, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Podcast Addict, iHeartRadio. There's more. I just can never remember them all. But basically, any major podcasting platform, you can find it on there, more than likely. You can even listen on your Amazon or Google device. So that'll be fun. You should just put it on while you sleep, actually. You can learn stuff and get our watch time up. It's a win-win. But we shall sign off. Thank you once again for viewing. Have a great night and go. Go away.